what's up? How you guys doing? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. My name is Annie. Happy to have all those who resonate with the sign of Virgo out there, including the cross watchers. This is going to be your October monthly tarot reading. So the first half-ish will be love, romance, relationship messages. The second half, which I will timestamp down below, will be money, job, career, anything related to things of that sort, payouts, loans, government checks. We'll see what comes through. I can't promise that I will touch on all of those, but I will try if they come through. So yeah, if you want to hop right to money, by all means, you're welcome to, but we're going to start off with love and romance. Virgo, how are you guys? Thank you for being patient. This is the last one I'm posting for no particular reason other than I just try and mix up the order. So my spiel very quickly, these are general messages here on YouTube, guys. Not everything I say will resonate with all the Virgos out there. Please come into this video with an open heart and an open mind. If it's not your message, that's okay. Push it aside. Don't take those messages away. Don't act on that energy. It won't be your story every time, unfortunately, in these big giant messages. That happens. However, it is my goal, it is my intent, it is my purpose here to try and resonate with as many Virgos as I can out there. So hopefully at least pieces and parts of this does fit your circumstance or scenario, if not lots and lots of it, okay? So we'll just have to see. Everything else about this video that you may want to know will be in the box below for you. The decks I'm using here today, how to contact me for a personal, my social media channels on the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook, Instagram.com, all that down below. Check it out if you're interested. Let's do it. All your own actions and all your own actions are your own responsibility, guys. So please use your logic, your best judgment, as well as your intuition. Gotta do the disclaimer, right? Okay, here we go. Virgo in love. Virgo. I'm stoked to be doing yours. Let's do it. Virgo in love. All right. Some of you you're dealing with someone who has a broken heart, someone who's trying to heal, someone who's been through a lot, and it's not just having to do, I heard Taurus, it's not just having to do with you. This person is going through a lot in their life. They have been a victim of circumstance. It could be that they lost their house or their job or a parent and I'm not at all predicting that. And I really don't think it's you. It actually feels like a person who they're just needing kind of like a friend right now. They're needing a shoulder to cry on. This person may actually be someone from your past who you're not expecting to hear from. So Virgo, your initial reaction may be kind of like, because it seems like they share a lot of personal stuff with you right out the gate, you might be a little bit suspicious, like, are they looking to get something out of me? Generally speaking, no. I think they honestly are they're reaching out to people who they trust or something about this. It's going to catch you off guard. I don't think it's going to scare you or shock you. It's not that. They're sort of like this, why me? I think underneath all the layers of that, the reason being is because they do have love in their heart for you. They care about you very much. And if anything, it might be unmatched on your end. This might be someone where maybe you had a fling in the past, or maybe you just were always really good friends. It feels like there's been distance or separation from you two for a while now, but this person resurfaces because they're going through a hard time and they're hoping that at minimum you can like lend them your listening ear or some sympathies. Something about the garden, flowers in a garden. Does that make sense to any of you? You may have met this person in school, specifically in college, especially if you're a law student, if you studied law or anything to do with like justice or the criminal system or something about that. You may have met them in passing there. Okay, so this person may be in trouble with the law, but I'm not getting like anything like you couldn't be friends with them. Like it's not something that it's like, you know, they're shunned from society. It could be that they haven't paid taxes. It could be something like that, or which, I mean, I just heard all my Virgos like, what? How could you not? You know, people live lives different ways. But yeah, so anyway, they may be going through some sort of lawsuit or court case. So what's the deal with that? Let's, yeah. How is it going to work in their favor? If this person, or maybe this is you, Virgo, feel free to take on that energy. The court case, how is that going to weigh out? I think it's positive. Yeah, I think there will be a small payout, but it seems like a victory on whoever is, you know, your protagonist of the story. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your person. If there's some sort of, there's something involving money, it's going to work. It's going to advance. It's going to progress. So then what does it have to do with love and relationships? I'll be honest, Virgo, I don't know if this is romantic. I just have to be honest. It might be, it could be, but this could even be a family member. Yeah, so someone is experiencing a tower. It might be a Leo. Could be a Sagittarius. Yeah, it's like one thing keeps piling up on the next, and this person is really overwhelmed to the point where they may have been hospitalized for like exhaustion, or I don't want to say nervous breakdown, that seems way too extreme, but something along those lines of just like maybe they had a panic attack. I think that's more like it. Yeah, this person may be suffering from panic attacks because it does seem like they're in financial debt, or again, they had like a shit year, and I mean, a lot of people did, right? Where it was like a domino effect, one thing on top of the other, and they're just trying to get their life together, but it seems like for some reason, this person values you very much, and so there's something they're hoping or wanting from you that maybe they're going to ask you for a job. Maybe you're a recruiter. Maybe there's, I don't know. It could be something like that where I wouldn't immediately jump to the conclusion where they're using you or trying to get something out of you. Now, maybe that's that person's MO. Maybe you associate this person with asking for a lot of favors and never paying it forward. But I think they're going to ask you for something again, but I think it's, to be honest, I think it's out of desperation. I think they need it. So, yeah, I am getting a message here. Your gut reaction is going to be, no, like, fuck off. I don't want to hear from you. Again, this feels like a brother or a sister or a family member or something like that. I would hear them out. I would maybe give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying you have to give them hundreds or thousands of dollars. Again, more than anything, this person just needs a friend. They need some sympathy. It's almost like they need to share their story. Something you could offer to them is guidance, counseling, or maybe in a professional sense, but in a non-professional, like, hey, I'm just here to help and like spitball ideas with you. So that's the very first love and romance message that came out, Virgo. Not very sexy, but hopefully someone needed to hear that. So let's move on to a completely different message. Yes, tell me about the Ace of Pentacles, the new offer, potentially with an earth sign. The sexy shades of lipstick. So whether you're male, female, whoever's wearing lipstick, yeah, it's gonna be dark and intense. Maybe you're going off on a date at night and you're getting your hair did, or you're putting on extra kind of sexy makeup. And I lived in LA. This could be guys as well. Guys with all the mascara and eyeliner. All right, moving on. Tell me about this. Let's see. Wheel of Fortune, very positive. This is going to be fun. Yeah, someone has their eye on you, Virgo. It might be a Sagittarius. They're interested in you. They're taking aim. They're wanting to ask you out to make an offer to you. Here's the thing though, Virgo, you seem to be on the fence because you already have someone in mind. You're split between two different people, or you're going to be. It could be that you're already dating someone when someone else is like, hey, do you want to grab coffee sometime? And you're like, oh, I can already tell, Virgo, you are going to accept, even though you probably shouldn't because you have someone else on the line. So this might be between a Pisces and a Sagittarius. For some of you, you're married or sort of committed. I don't even know what that means, Virgo, but you'll know what I mean if it's your message. You're kind of tied up with someone. Like you've taken steps forward where it seems like it's something more or less committed or official, but there's something about it. It's not fun enough for you. It's not wild and crazy enough for you. It's like this person is rather dull. So when someone opens the door, or a new person, enters the picture, so to say, and invites you out, you're like, oh, hey. So Virgo, this feels troublesome. But hey, whatever. Like I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. So give me some advice or guidance here. This feels like you're gonna fall into a trap though. It's almost like you're trying to maintain both people and not have them find out, but that's not gonna go well. I can just already tell by the energy. Yeah, this person's going to read your text. That's exactly what's going to happen. So here's the thing, Virgo. I'm not saying hide your phone. I'm not saying be extra cautious and delete the messages. Just don't do it. Like, why would you get yourself into this situation where it's like this clandestine infidelity? Or if it's not marriage, again, it's like you're kind of committed to someone at this point, but then person A and then person B shows up and you're hanging out with person B a lot more, to the point where person A is like, who's this on your phone? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The person who comes back into your life may also be an ex in the past. It's not an ex that you have baggage with, like emotional baggage. It's not someone where when they text you, you're like, oh, it's them again, you're like, oh, goody, I haven't heard from them in so long. Like, I didn't even think they remembered me. Virgo, you're just like, oh, well, I guess I did impress them after all. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's the message. Be careful. Proceed with caution, because you're not as slick as you think you are. Anyway, new message. Tell me about the Leo. There's a Leo. There's a Leo that you're thinking about. You're very desperate for them to reach out and either text you back. Wish fulfillment in reverse, though. I don't like that. Tell me more. So, yeah, the Leo might not text back in the month of October, or you might not hear from them as much. For some of them, though, it's because they're actually, I don't know if this makes you happy or sad, depending on how much you really love them, though this is a good gauge to find out how much you really love them. It's because they're celebrating a lot of personal achievements in their personal life. So the reason I say that being, if you truly do love this person, you would be happy for them whether they were with you or not. If they got a promotion at work, if they just had a new baby, you would be happy for them because you love them. Now, if there's that streak of jealousy or however you want to say it, because they're off living your best life and you're not part of it, well, that might be the case too. The wish fulfillment card is here, but it's coming up in reverse. So I gotta be honest, guys, I can take that to mean two different things. When it's reverse, it means you're sinking deeper into an energy or it's not here yet. So the fact that the potential of wish fulfillment is there with the Leo, the potential is there, but they're not texting you yet. Do you understand? It could also mean wish fulfillment in reverse. It's not going to happen. Like it's out of the question. I will say at least in the month of October. It's not here yet. For a lot of you, they're celebrating a big accomplishment. Like they just bought a house, or they just, for a lot of them, it's like a promotion. Now this could be you, Virgo, but for most of you, it feels like your person, specifically if your person is a Leo with blonde hair. You dream about this person, though, a lot. So, I mean, who's to say you can't reach out to them, right? Yeah, the whole playing hard to get is not a good way to approach this. If you're thinking about this person and from what you know they're available, reach out to them. Why not? You got nothing to lose. Yeah. Yeah, it's like take your fate and destiny in your own hand. It will be very empowering, and it might just get you the results that you want. It's almost like you're delaying it without even knowing it by it's almost like refusing to be the one that texts first. Like, that's childish. Right? Like, why? Don't waste your time doing that. All right, let's get a couple more love messages, completely unrelated. Ugh, I hate reading reversals. No, I don't like that deck. Let's see, what deck do I want to use? Let's do this one. Why not? All right, tell me about Virgo's love life. Brand new messages for Virgo. Working in television or working on stage, is that something some of you do? Entertainment industry type stuff? Yeah, working on like film sets or film crews. All right, so there's a Libra who wants to communicate with you, as well as a Sagittarius. Yeah, the Sagittarius will very likely communicate. Absolutely. You have two cards of Sagittarius. But there's also someone here in this relationship that is a bit guarded. It could be an air sign, specifically a female air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. It could be, though, that you, Virgo, especially if you have strong Libra in your chart, you're very guarded about this person or about letting them back into your life, because at one point in time, they seemed like a bit of a trickster. At one point in time, it's like they weren't making their intentions well known or clear to you, or they said one thing but did another. So yeah, it kind of seems like you're not rejecting their offer. I think you're texting back or calling them back or whatever it is, but you have your defenses up a little bit. It's like you're waiting to see if the proof is in the pudding. You're waiting to see where it goes. So tell me about that. It's gonna take some time. So yeah, you're right to approach it cautiously. But I don't know, something about this feels good to me. Yeah, I think this is a new start, specifically with, there's a lot of zodiac signs coming through here. Sagittarius is very big here. Again, maybe a female air sign or possibly a Gemini or Virgo. It could be another Virgo. Yeah, I think they're either coming in with sincere, innocent emotions, or they've wiped the slate clean. They're a changed man, a changed woman. They've changed their ways a bit. Yeah, this feels like it stands a chance. And yeah, so this says to me just because this could be an apology, someone coming through wanting to make up for lost time, for maybe being a little bit shady or being a bit of a trickster, or just not being completely forward with how they were feeling or what they were thinking. It doesn't mean they were cheating. It's just like, maybe like you really caught feelings for them and they were kind of lukewarm. It's almost like they should have just said that rather than stringing you along. it feels like a revival of that, where maybe they're coming in with an offer like, hey, do you want to like try again? Do you want to grab a coffee? Do you want to do this? So rightfully so, you may be a little bit butthurt. You may be a little bit offended because, you know, this person ultimately, it kind of seems like they rejected you more or less. It does seem like they're coming back around. So, I mean, if you're interested, give it a shot. And if not, that's okay too. There's plenty of fish in the sea. New message. Virgo, in love, in love. We're not getting a lot of cups, though. I got to be honest. I like to see lots of cups and lots of wands. We're not getting tons of those yet. So let's see. Virgos in the month of October. Two of Cups. There we go. Knight of Pentacles. Love it. So you're on your way towards the long term. You're on your way towards the happily ever after. These are beautiful cups. I mean cups. Cards. This is exactly what I want to see in a love reading. Two of Cups is the beginning. It's the connection. It's the spark. It's the love. It's something growing into the Ten of Cups, which is the final card you can get in Cups. So again, generally speaking, the Cup suit is overall very positive because it speaks of our heart, of our emotion. And if any of the Knights in Tarot are going to bring us from the beginning to the end, I love that it's the Knight of Pentacles. It's your card for starters, so that's very positive. Could be another Virgo you're dealing with, but it's also the most reliable Knight. He's not so much concerned with the timeline. He's more, he or she, whatever. It's about doing it right. It's about being steady. It's about being consistent. It's not about going on impulse and then getting yourself into something too quickly and then having to withdraw. It's like, it's taking it a piece at a time. It's taking it a chunk at a time so that you get the results you want in the end. This feels beautiful. This feels like engagements or weddings, particularly if you've, okay, Virgo, if you've been dating an earth sign and you're like, so are we? Yeah, you are. Whatever that thing is you're wondering or thinking, if it's going well, if overall this relationship has been very positive, no red flags, that kind of thing, this feels like the happily ever after. Yeah, there might be marriage for you, particularly with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could also be water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Doesn't have to be. I'm getting really earth. That's a very heavy message for, or not heavy, but strong, powerful message for long-term relationships with an earth sign. Love it. And remember, with the Two of Cups, this could be brand new. You might not know this person yet, but it could be the next person you end up dating ends up being your swan song, your happily ever after. I feel like swan song wasn't the right wording there, but you know what I mean. Your mate for life. Do swans mate for life? I don't know if that's true. Penguins do, right? Anyway, moving on. All right, tell me about the Pisces. The Pisces or the Cancer. Tell me about that. Again, I'm getting something about makeup. Lots of makeup on the face. Eyelashes, nails, mascara, like cosmetics. Do you sell cosmetics? Do you work in cosmetics? I don't know what that is. Okay, so the water sign is all up in their feels. You may have a water sign that's in love with you, but again, I'm sort of getting that you've rejected them or wading through water, wading through the emotions. It's very heavy. It's like you guys have been through like some situation together where there were a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of rejection, a lot of resentment, also a lot of guilt, a lot of remorse. I should have done this. I shouldn't have said that. So this was a karmic partnership. You guys were meant to experience this trouble because ultimately, I'm going to pull more cards, but hang with me here. This is important. There was a purposeful separation so that you guys could go your separate ways and grow individually and go through almost like a spiritual awakening that never would have happened had you not met this person. But something about this seems like your paths are going to align again. It feels like it was difficult. Something about this relationship, it was very difficult. It felt like you were launched into something very quickly, very heavy, possibly like very sexual, very, very codependent. Like, I don't want to lose you, but it was almost to the point where it was unhealthy. There was something about this relationship where you sort of lost sight of your logic. You were making heart over head decisions, but spirit, something about it, the universe is trying to get you to see something greater about this, to get perspective on this. So here's the thing. If this does involve a water sign, possibly an Aquarius, it seems like there's a lot of unsettled feelings where something about this is going to, it's going to introduce itself again as a way to, I'm almost getting judgment, though it hasn't shown up yet. Yeah, there will be communication with this person again. because there's still loose ends that need to be tied up. It's almost like you guys had to heal individually so that you could come back together and actually communicate effectively. Something about when you were so in it, people were speaking and fighting and yelling out of raw emotion, and it wasn't healthy. It wasn't like nobody was hearing the other person. Everybody was talking at each other, but no one was absorbing it. It's like the universe needed to separate you guys and like almost like put you in your corners like the referee in like a wrestling match, so that this time like you've cleared your headspace, you've done like some introspection, some personal growing and healing. That way you can come back and whatever this means to you, like fix it or make it okay. So maybe that just means reconciling so that you guys don't carry around resentment and grudges, but ultimately going different ways. Or it could mean reuniting, like a reconciliation and hey, let's try and make this work again. This was all divinely guided though. It absolutely was. And there's a lot of heaviness. So we have a full moon in Aries coming up. You might just hear from them around then or during the next full moon. So the next full moon will be in Taurus. Is that right? No, hold on. That's not right. Is it? Yeah. I think the next full moon will be during Scorpio season, which will be, during the Taurus full moon, you will very likely hear from this person. And it might be a Taurus for that matter. All right, so yeah, there's judgment. That's exactly what I was waiting for. Sometimes you just feel it. Sorry, camera focus. There we go. Judgment, recalling the past, making a new judgment call. And look, this time it's a victory. It's a win. It's a slam dunk. There's a tremendous amount of accomplishment after the end of what has been a very difficult cycle or a very difficult relationship in your life. There's closure. There's completion. Glory, hallelujah. That's the word I was grasping for. Some of you will get back together with them. Others of you will not. But in Scorpio season, I think there's going to be closure. Okay. One last message in love, because I love you, Virgos, and I want to give you one more. Then we'll move on to career and finances. All right. One last message for Virgo. Ooh, all right. We're gonna do it with oracle cards. It just feels right. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Something about a house. A house in possibly Scorpio season. All right. The bouquet. All right, so who's getting married? You may meet somebody at a wedding. It could be your wedding, but I have to be honest, this feels like somebody else's wedding that you're attending in a church. It might be a very traditional ceremony. It might be a very long ceremony. And something about that, it's how you spark a conversation with a stranger. This is so specific and so random, but it's something about like at the reception, there's this unspoken element in the room of like, God, that was a long ass reception. Like I was checking my watch and like you break the ice with a stranger like at the bar and you talk about how long the religious ceremony was, which I don't know, hopefully it's not your best friend. That seems kind of shady. But anyway, there's humor about it. There's something about okay, so if it's not that, for a lot of you, it is at a very special event, a corporate party or something like that. There's a tone in the room that's very serious. It could be religious. It could just be very corporate, like kind of stuffy, cold or whatever. There's a stranger that you break the ice with and there's a tremendous amount of like giggling and like whispering and like flirtation about the serious tone of it. It's like, yeah, it's very cute. It's a very cute message, but that'll make sense to some of you. Yeah, and it could be someone you know through a mutual church friend, a church group. So this person might be very religious, but they have a very good sense of humor about it. So that's cool. Wow. They're very kinky. Can I say that? They have a very sexual side to them. Virgo. I know you don't want that. No interest there, right? I'm just kidding. I know you want that. Whips and chains, baby. That's what I'm getting. All right, moving on. Actually, tell me one more thing about this person. The lilies. Okay, so that might be someone's name. Easter lilies. Okay, so I know this is very far away, but ceremonies in church, again, Easter, something. There's a very religious connotation to this, whatever it is. And even for my Virgos out there who are not religious, it could be spiritual, and it might not. This could be completely circumstantial or coincidental, especially for my Virgos out there going, I don't go to church. I don't know church people. Like, I know you don't now, but that will make sense later to a lot of you. Okay, so just go with it. Or shelve it. That's really what I mean. Put the message on the shelf and revisit it at a later date. So there will be an opportunity to travel with this person. This person may have their own boat or their own ship or like a yacht or something very fancy. You may be going to some sort of private not private island, but some sort of getaway. It's very remote. It's away from everything else. Something about this may involve a Leo, or it could just be, I'm getting a lot of future projections for you, Virgo. So like summertime, which I mean, we're closing out summer now. It's basically fall. Next summer, you're going to go on some like really great cruise or something really great on like an ocean liner, or it could be for work, but it could just be like your romantic partner doing something really exciting for your anniversary, or yeah, long distance travel or travel by or around the water. This person may be a sailor or have some sort of profession working on boats or around boats, or yeah, like water vehicles. It could even be like a submarine. Like it's very nautical. Look at these cards. Very nautical. They may have a tattoo of an anchor or a piece of jewelry about an anchor, or something like that. Yeah, this person would be fiercely protective of you in a good way. This person's very nurturing, very warm, very kind. They're sweet as honey, but they're also kinky. If they have their own private yacht, you guys are gonna get sexy on the boat. All right, moving on. Career and finances. Career and finances. Virgo, if you're just joining me now, welcome to your career and finances spread. Let's get messages about money and jobs. Anything that wants to come through in those areas and those arenas for Virgo. Tell those Virgos what they need to know. I know they're here for it. They're here for those money messages. All right, Ace of Swords, beautiful. New communication coming in. It is positive. Particularly if you work in any sort of scientific field, anything involving technology. If you're applying to jobs in any of those fields. Solar power, I'm hearing. Solar power? Yeah, I don't know what that is. But anything involving science, even working in laboratories, medical type stuff. Yeah, there's positive news and positive communication, and don't we all need that right now, particularly in the medical field? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I see you running big machinery. Yeah, like scientific or medical machinery. I don't know if you're like an x-ray technician or something like that. And I know this is very specific, guys. I'm going to do many of these, so stick around. Something may stick for you. Tell me about that. What else do we need to know about anything science and tech related? It's positive news of communication, so it could be a promotion. It could be a raise. Hell yeah, it's again, 10 of Cups. Happily ever after, long-term Cinderella story. This is a game changer in your career life. Again, especially if you're putting out resumes or applications, there's going to be an offer that, again, it's like a slam dunk. It's fulfilling your wishes and dreams, especially for any of you who work with your romantic partner, your husband or wife. Very positive news. Some of you may actually get engaged to the person, someone at work, or you may end up dating someone at work, particularly if you work in a laboratory, blood levels, with phlebotomy. Yeah, something about, I don't know why that's coming through, guys, but yeah, there's success for a really good relationship there. And some of you are going to move to the city to take this job in the medical or science field. Jet Propulsion Laboratory, I just heard. Where is that, Pasadena? I don't know. Anyway. All right, new messages. That seems great. I don't know what else to tell you other than slam dunk. It looks awesome. New messages for Virgo. Just tell me specifically about money. What's the outlook of money? Let's say in the next month and a half. What's coming through for money? What's the money sitch looking like? For generally, guys, right? General messages here. All right, so, I don't know if I like that. The death card can mean endings. Yes, it can also mean regeneration. Scorpio season. Okay, so there's going to be, yes, okay, this makes sense to me. We're in Libra season. So after Libra season is over, which let's see, Libra season is end of September into mid-October. So mid to late October into November, Scorpio season, things are going to take off money-wise. I asked about money. The death card is a timestamp. And so that is true. Right now, it's almost saying, depending on where you are, the way the leaves are falling off the trees and kind of dying, there's a death, there's a decay of something, but it is going to regenerate the way nature will, but you're not going to see that until Scorpio season. Then, what an amazing card to have, though. It takes off like a rocket. It launches, it zooms, like this is big, baby. You may be going on business trips or something about, you have many clients reaching out to you. Wands are communication, so this to me is an excellent card in many different ways. It could mean travel. It could mean communication. It could mean having more sales. It could mean having more followers. It could mean growth on your social media, on your website hits, however you want to say it. It's not just one communication, it's a whole bunch all at once. And with the Eight of Wands, it's speed. It's taking off like a rocket. Again, jet propulsion. Does anybody work in planes or aviation or anything involving like transportation? Yeah. It's gonna be dead. I'm being honest. I know it's probably not what everybody wants to hear, but it's gonna be dead in Libra season. It's going to be minimal. It doesn't mean you're gonna get fired. I honestly don't really think that for most of you. Possibly, is it possible with the death card? Sure. But again, the snapback or the regeneration, the whatever it is, you get flung into something else quite quickly, to the point where if this is a new job, if for some reason you guys get laid off or fired, which again, I want to be clear is not the main message here. Should that happen though, you may get a new job very quickly after where you're almost overwhelmed. It's almost too much work. You know what I mean? So be cognizant that you actually have a lot coming up. So if this makes sense to you, Virgo, if you can prepare in advance, if you can get a few things ready in the interim while you're waiting, while it's the dead season, while it's a little bit slow, it's going to pick up like mid-October sort of. Count your money. Be careful with who you're trusting your money to. Someone may be pocketing money or stealing money. If it's not from you, it could just be someone at your place of business. And so don't associate with them, because there's going to be a lawsuit and you don't want your name dragged in with them. If you're doing it, Virgo, stop. You're not as sneaky as you think you are. I don't think it's you though. I think there may have been an awkward incident where you overheard something or somebody confided in you. I mean, gosh, that's a judgment call, but I would not associate with that person. You're setting yourself up for disaster. And you have such amazing things coming in. Don't block your blessings. Be very careful about your moves. And again, your circle of friends, who you're sharing things with, especially if you're applying to jobs, mum's the word. Don't share that shit with anyone. Like until you're actually, clocking or punching in at work or at that new job, like you don't need to tell anyone. Yeah, in fact, that's what this message is too. Like, it's okay for you to be sneaky, not in terms of stealing assets, obviously, but to be sneaky in terms of if you're at a job and you're not happy and applying for things, don't tell your coworkers. Don't grab lunch with your friends and be like, so I'm applying to jobs. Like nope. Stop. Don't do that. Mum's the word. That is going to serve you well, and it's going to serve you very well. I know that's hard for you, Virgo. I know you like to chat. I know you're chatty, but shh. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Somebody's stealing medical equipment, or God, I hope it's not prescriptions and medication. I don't know what that is. And for some of you, I don't know why this message is coming through, and it's actually very serious. So make sure it's not your child. If you have younger children that can access a medicine cabinet, make sure they're not. Yeah, I know that's a very strange and unusual message, but obviously it's an important one. So just double check that. And that wouldn't come out of the clear blue. Like if I said that and that was a trigger for you, you already knew it was happening. You need to stop. Or you need to stop that. You need to protect your children, especially from medications. Like prescription medications and stuff, right? Anyway, moving on. There's a backup on a loan that you're expecting or a payout that you're expecting. It's delayed, but I think it's coming, but it's not going to be in the timeline you were hoping for. So this could be a government check. This could be a job offer. Yeah, the thing is, it's giving you severe anxiety, so it's really fucking up your mental health. So here's what I'm going to say, Virgo. The potential of it is there, but it's not here yet. Doing any sort of shoulda, coulda, woulda, why didn't it work out, woe is me, like feeling sorry for yourself. And I don't mean to be so harsh, but this is important. Sinking into a lower vibration or a negative state, it's dimming your light. It's lowering your vibe. It's not serving you in any capacity. So again, in the interim, while things are still being worked out behind the scenes, focus on things where you can move ahead. Focus on things that do make you happy. Hang out with your kids, hang out with your parents, hang out with your family, your best friend, your husband, your wife. You know what I mean? Like, do something so that you're not like struggling to get out of bed in the morning because there's depression or anxiety or whatever. And I don't mean to gloss that over. I know it's more complicated than that, particularly for those who suffer from depression and anxiety. That might be a message in itself to go get help, to go get medication, to talk to a counselor. All right, so give me the projection. This payout or this, I don't know if it's a loan or a check, something you're waiting for regarding money. It's delayed, but tell me more about that, please. What can I tell my Virgos? It's giving you anxiety. Stop. Don't let it give you anxiety because it's not helping you. Your anxiety is not going to make the situation better. What you tell the universe, they say yes. So tell the universe, it's coming. I know it's coming. I'm good. I know it's coming. It'll be here any day, right? Raise your vibe. Tell yourself that. Tell the universe that. Yeah, there's confusion or clarity. Something literally could have gotten lost in the shuffle. It's okay to check back up, especially if this is a job interview. Make sure you send the follow-up email or, write the postcard if people still do that. Thank you for the opportunity. Please let me know if I can provide you with anything else. Like, follow up, but don't nag. And for some of you, because I know from personal experience, if you're trying to follow up on government payouts, that shit is slow as fuck. And there's no way to get a hold of anyone. It's frustrating, isn't it? America. Anyway, Page of Swords. Okay, there will be communication, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Again, during the full moon, lots of things start happening for you during full moon, Virgo. So again, we have a full moon in Aries, I think, in 2 days. It might be that, but I have to be honest, the way this is projecting, this feels like a month away or something like that. So again, the full moon in Taurus during Scorpio season, right? Scorpio season is big for you guys. It's very big. Again, something about a travel opportunity or taking flight or some sort of profession where you would have to dress in a very fancy costume or you have a very specific uniform. That's when the magic starts to happen. Also, in the meantime, while you're waiting on this payout or opportunity, you may actually manifest something even better where the other one, it doesn't even matter to you anymore. That's very important. So whatever is giving you anxiety, I know it's big stakes. I know it's big money. I know it means the world to you. It's not a death sentence. I'm not saying it's not going to come. There's going to be disappointments along the way. It will probably come in possibly a smaller version or a smaller amount than you were hoping. However, there's going to be some other opportunity that happens, again, around a full moon where it's even better. It's more magical, but it does come from you manifesting and wanting and desiring not just this, but this and this and this. Like you manifest something else. So spread yourself thin. Or maybe that's not the right expression. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's a good expression for this. Sorry, I'll pull a few more. Again, sorry, my throat is so dry. Science and laboratory medical stuff. Some of you have been putting off a surgery that you know you need to get, and maybe it's because of the COVID thing, you don't want to go into the hospital, but again, I'm not a medical professional. I don't even really feel comfortable getting too much deeper into this, but if you've been putting off a surgery, and it feels more, what is the expression? This is gonna kill me. It's not like urgent, like come in tomorrow, but it's also not like, a nip and tuck facial type. It's not that. It's something your doctor's like, listen, we should really have like your knee checked out. You gotta have that surgery. Like it's that type of thing. Elective surgery. You should probably do it because it's only gonna get worse the longer you wait. And I know that you don't want to hear it. You're literally like, la, 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 la. You should probably go ahead and do it. It'll be worth it in the end. Okay, moving on. Let's switch decks. New messages about career and finances. Ooh, there's an offer coming through that's going to make you very happy. 2 random cards want to be seen. Tell me more about that with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Something involving nature or agriculture, specifically bodies of water. This message has come up a lot, like oceanic type stuff or stuff on ships and boats. That came up for you too, but puring or cleaning water, cleansing of like riverbeds or I don't know what that is, but like conservation biology or ecological type stuff. Anyway, so some of you if you have like an awakening or a calling to participate in some new field that you've never really ventured into before, but an unusual opportunity arises where it's just like the stars align and the path to getting to it, it's so easy. It's like you're grappling or struggling with something, and then I don't really know how this happens. It's probably initiated through a friend or someone in your circle, your network, where it's like, oh, hey, we need someone to fill this job. We'll train you. We'll show you how to do it. Do you want to? And you're like, yeah, I do. And I'm not typically one to give this message because I'm such an advocate of, work for it. Things aren't just handed to you. This actually kind of feels like something is handed to you. I would keep applying to things, but again, it comes at a time where you're very focused on this, What you end up getting is that, but it's just as good, if not better. But it's hard for you to put faith in that because you don't know what it is yet. That's what having faith is, Virgo, right? And it's something very unlike anything you've done before. And yeah, it feels like just through word of mouth, somebody tosses your name in the ring and they're like, oh yeah, call so-and-so. Like they'll do it. They're really good at crunching numbers. They're really good at this and that. And the thing is, it feels like it's bizarre, and yet it's a very logical step or a very logical move, and there's good income. Look at that. Look at that stream of income, that stream of money. I like that a lot. It may involve software and technology, doing something on the computer, but I mean, what isn't on the computer nowadays? But it could be developing software, developing some sort of app. You may be starting your own like social media platform, or working for a major, industry leader. You're working for Facebook or YouTube or something like that. That's for some of you. Tell me more about this. Again, Gemini. There's a lot of Gemini energy here. So duality, twins, that may have to do with the company's logo. Something about the number 2 is very important. And it's short, again, transportation and travel. This opportunity could come through one of your siblings as well. If you have a sibling, right? Some of you are going to work in like childcare. So maybe you could be a teacher working with small children, especially infants and babies. You may be selling a product or doing marketing design work on baby diapers, or I don't know, anything involving like children, babies, infancy. Maybe you're OBGYN, maybe you're delivering babies. I don't know what it is. It's very beautiful, and especially for those who resonate with the idea of getting into a brand new industry or a brand new field that you've never really worked in before, you are going to be so much happier. You're going to be like, why didn't I switch years ago? Why did I stay at this other place so long? You're fine. It was meant to be. You got there eventually, and that's all that matters. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. All right, one more swig of water. I'm dying. Sorry, guys. My throat is scratchy. Feels like allergies. That, and I've been talking all day doing these videos. So, all right. Should we do one more message, career and finances? All right. Brand new message, career and finances. Brand new messages, career and finances. I love this. This message looks incredible, as does this. Actually, you have a lot of good messages. These feel very strong as long as you're patient. If you can wait till Scorpio season, you guys are going to be in the clear. It's going to be great. There is a delay in a payout, and that's frustrating. I feel you. I'm right there with you. I'm waiting for some payouts too. And what day is it? What time is it? Jesus. Anyway, moving on. All right. Some of you are going to work with a government official, or you're going to be very politically active, or protesting, picket signs, fighting for a cause, fighting for humanity. Especially if you have a strong Aquarius in your chart. You're doing it for the people. You're doing for the greater good. Some of you are going to study outer space, and some of you may be making a documentary about aliens, or doing something about like UFOs, or maybe you're writing a story or a comic book about that. Maybe you're making a film about it, something about aliens and space travel and UFOs. Again, science, sci-fi, sci-tech type stuff. All right, tell me more about this. Is it about a Scorpio? Some of you help people. I heard crossing over. Does that make sense? That could be a million things. Crossing over. Crossing over what? To the other side? Are you hopefully it's just you're helping children cross the street. Maybe you're doing traffic. But it doesn't feel like that. Traffic lady cop. That's so funny. No, it's spiritual. Some of you work in a very spiritual way. You might read tarot cards. You might read oracle cards. You may literally work in a church as some sort of high-ranking spiritual figure. That could be what you're destined to do. Some of you are going to start a YouTube channel, and it's like spiritual seminars or spiritual series. Something about like preaching, or I don't really know what it is, but it's very, very spiritual and religious. It feels pretty heavy. You may be working with a Taurus or a Scorpio on this. You may have that at least strong in your chart. So there's also an ending of a marriage. Now that could be a business marriage too. Do you understand? Especially because we're reading for career and finances, so take that with a grain of salt. There's an ending of a commitment or an ending of a marriage. So you may have gotten involved in some project deal with someone and it's like there's a divorce. Do you know what I mean? Now this could resonate in your love life too, but tell me about that. You're free. You're going to be so much happier. It's like you cut the dead weight. Yeah, it was like a lead weight around your foot. Snip, get rid of that shit. You're going to be better off on your own. Especially for anybody who works in like a dynamic duo, a pairing, and you guys just, it's like you have creative differences. You constantly have differing opinions. Doesn't mean you hate each other, but it could be a very, again, spiritual, peaceful ending of what was once a solid partnership. You already sense it's crumbling a little bit. And maybe you don't. For some of you, it could just happen organically where this person gets a job in New York and they're off and you never see them again. There is a severing of I do want to say a long-term commitment, but what the Fool says, it's a brand new start and it's going to be flippin' amazing. The Fool is excellent energy. It's about taking a leap of faith. It's about being lighthearted. It's about keeping your vibe high, being positive, being optimistic. It's Aquarian energy. I was getting a lot of Aquarius energy earlier. Yeah, some of you may be working alongside an Aquarius. The humanitarians of the zodiac, those Aquariuses. Fashion design, working with really flowy, drapey clothing. You could be doing, I don't know, something about like repairing curtains in your house or big drapes of fabric. Maybe you're reupholstering your sofa or, yeah, lots of fabric, textiles. You might be using a sewing machine. That could have to do with your work or your job too. Something about the army or the military, or I don't know what to do with that. This could be someone you're related to who served, or you may be going through old scrapbooks, old photo albums and looking at pictures, and it may, especially if you're doing your own fashion line, I know this sounds so wacky and bizarre, but it's almost like it's inspired by uniform, it could even be like royal uniforms. I'm almost getting like, Prince William type, I don't know what it is, but it's a very specific uniform. I don't know what to do with that, but some of you are going to take up archery and it's going to be a lot of fun. Some of you are going to buy a horse, or you're going to move to like I don't know if it's a farmhouse or there's something where it's a very countryside, lots of horses. You may visit that area on a business trip. You may end up working with horses. Yeah, anything like equestrian or, I don't know what that is. It could be some sort of product that people use, or money will be slow there. So there's going to be times where you're questioning your path, because especially regarding all that stuff I said about horses or archery, or if that's, I don't know if you work in like a sporting goods store or something like that. The money is slow. It's backed up right now. It's like it's there, but it's not in the amount that you want. Tell me about that. It will be though. King of Pentacles says it's going to be huge, but it's not here yet. There needs to be a restructuring of the company, or new management has to come in. A new boss has to come in because it's being poorly managed. So sorry, Virgo, if it's being managed by you, the same message applies. But if that's the case, it's like you need to fire yourself. By that, I really mean you need to shake it up. You need to do something different. You probably need to do something that you've never done before that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. You need to take a necessary risk. You need to take a leap of faith, because if you're doing something you love and the money isn't showing up, you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean you're wrong, but it means your methodology right now isn't working, so you need to be innovative. You need to shake it up. You need to try something new. You need to take risks, because in that risk, there will be more money to be made. Yeah, some of you are going to take up a musical instrument, particularly guitar or any stringed instrument. It could be a violin, a ukulele, something about that. Yeah, you're going to be a musician, and you may go around touring with it, actually. Yeah, like we're recording in a studio, writing lyrics. Musicians, my musicians, hell yeah. There's world travel and an amazing amount of victory, success, public relations, public image. There's like fame. There's fame regarding musicians, world travel, world domination. That seems very cool. So if you don't play an instrument, maybe you should start, Virgo. All right, that's what I got for you, Virgo. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.